I've been performing this one a lot lately, and I thought, hey, this is nice, let's do it together. Why not? So, we're going to simple this up, basically, because online all the tabs say D minor to C, D minor to C. That's very clunky on a guitar. That's like, lying in my bed, I hear the... And I prefer something a bit more subtle. So I'm going for a C chord, normal C major, and I'm going to put the note of D down, which is 3rd fret on your B string. And that just gives you that nice, subtle, going to a D but not quite sound, you know? That's what we're going for here. And I am just plucking. I should mention before we get too into it, I am using Pima fingers as always. So thumb takes care of the bass notes, index on the G, middle on the B, ring on the E string. But this is largely, to start with, just between 3 fingers if you like. So I'm going thumb, index and middle, making sure that the index and middle are on these 2, my G and my B string, because then I'm going to hear what I'm going for. If I was to pluck all of them, oh, first off I'll make a mistake, but also it won't be as clear. Can you hear the loudest note that you can hear is the E? So it's kind of lost, so I definitely don't want to be plucking that. I want to hear that. Ah, sweet. So that's mostly what I'm going to be doing, just plucking away. And I'm doing it on the strong notes basically, so lying in bed, here, clock, tick, think, you. So you can kind of feel it, right? You can feel the strong words. And you can also see it online. Like I said, if you look up any tab, it's wherever they've put the D minor. That's where I'm putting my little finger down rather than moving into a D minor. And I'll put a link to the tabs you can find online below, because I always do that. It's always a whole bunch of links down there that you might miss. So anyway, that's what I'm doing in the verse. That little pre-chorusy bit where you have your flashback. I like to move up the neck to make this G more interesting, and also to make it stand out from the chorus as well, because that way it stays high-pitched. So I would just pluck again, thumb, this time it's on the D string because it's an F chord, and it's the F shape I'm going to be sliding. So it's thumb, index, I might as well do all 4 for this one, because I'm not plucking the melody at all. There's no melody note there, I'm just going at it. So I'd go, let's see, flashback. So if you move an F chord up, 1, 2, you're going to get a G chord. And that's what I'm doing with that one. So I'm going flashback, then normal chords, E minor, warm nights. And with my E minor, again, these guys are down the bottom. I've just moved my thumb to the E string to make it stand out. So you get a nice bassy note and all the prettiness of the high notes. So you got your warm nights. For that F, I could use this F if I wanted to. Nights. It's kind of up to you. I would still move back into this one for the next bit. Almost left behind. Suitcase of memories. And here's a nice thing that you can do on this part, if you can manage it. Sometimes I miss it. But this is the note we're going to pay attention to, so we can have a time after. Just gives you that melody note, which is ever so pretty. So you're going from the F, holding down the note of C over here, moving those guys up as if they're going to go into a G. So you've essentially got a G add 4 here, and you're plucking the thumb on the E string, middle on the B, index on the G, like so. And then you ping it off, same again. So I'm not even playing the E string, doesn't matter. And that gives you your after. And then, as it goes on, it comes back into that. But you can do this again later on, right at the end of the song, where you're resolving onto a C. After time. Cool, so that was a bit of a whistle-stop tour of this song, but that is essentially what's going on for the main bulk of it, for all the verses and the pre-chorusy bits. For the chorus, I'm doing a finger-picking pattern. And I've thought about this, and I think this is probably going to be the friendliest one that you guys can have. So normal chords over here, G, A minor, F, G, I'll do it that way, and then coming into C. The reason I'll do it that way is because I'm coming at it from an A minor, and that just seems a bit clunky and the wrong way around for me. If I was going to D, fair enough, not so bad, but if it's A minor, I have to turn my whole hand around essentially, rather than just do that. So that's worth practicing, I have to say. You can practice that in your own time, going maybe from a C chord. You could just strum it, in fact, going from C even to F, and then jumping up to a G this way. The main difference is it's like C formation, but this expands outwards, if you like. So these two go up one, little finger goes down, and that guy comes off. But it's a good shape of G to use, like I said, if you're doing lots of C's to F's. Very handy, rather than clunking around and finding that a little slow for your needs. But anyway, I digress. So this finger picking pattern then, I'm going to start with this G. I don't have to, but I'm going to start with it. Why not? We're just going to go all quavers, and you're sort of going to pluck your way through it. So here we go. I'll show you it, and I'll pop the tab up. And I'll do that slower, so you can see what's going on. So thumb, index, middle, ring, middle, index, thumb, index. And if I think about it, it goes wrong. And I would say to you guys, this is something to practice separate from all of that. So you could take the chord off and you could just be focusing on that and going, okay, so thumb, index, middle, ring, middle, index, thumb, index. So once you can do that without thinking, then start putting on chords. And keep it simple chords to start with. So you might not like the G, and you might be like, oh, that takes too much thought. In which case, put down the A minor to start with, because that's a friendlier shape, right? Because it's almost like an E shape, it's just down one. So you can just whack that one down. But like I said, once you're happier with the finger picking pattern, and you'll notice with the A, I've moved my thumb down to the A string, simply because it's an A minor chord. I want my A to be the lowest note in the chord. Sound okay, but a bit weird if I put my E in it. Sounds like I'm trying to make a statement, right? But I'm not with this, I'm not. With the F, if I'm using this F, which I probably will, I would use it from the D string, so. The C from the A string, because again, lowest note. But anyway, we're quicker on those bits, so I won't confuse you. Let's stick with this finger picking pattern for just a sec. So I'm going to put down my G and assume you've done the homework. You've drilled that until it's second nature. It will take time. It will take at least a couple weeks. So be patient with yourself. Try your hardest not to look at your right hand or your plucking hand. Just look away. Slowly, slowly. And once it's second nature, like I said, then you've got your... If you're lost, you can look and you will find me. And then things will change. We're just going to have a simpler sort of pattern here. So we got our F, but what's going on here is just a... So it's just going to be a thumb, index, middle, index. And it's because the bar's split in half. So to make it a little bit easier, we're going 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I know that might have gone whoosh over your head, but it's okay. So just to recap, when we get to the time after time bit on the chorus, you're going to go thumb, index, middle, index, thumb, index, middle, index. And then it's a full bar after that, so you're back to your finger picking pattern. Your full one. So let me do that top line for you of the chorus. So going for my G. If you're lost, you can look and you will find me. Time after time. If you fall, I will catch you. I'll be waiting. Time after time. So hopefully that's broken that down enough that you can see what on earth I'm doing. I will do the whole chorus, but I've got to move my hand back over the sound hole, because it really does hurt if I leave it all the way up there. Ends up having no blood, no energy. It's all no good. So I'm going to do the same thing again, but this time I'll do the whole chorus. I'm going to go a little bit slower in the hopes that you might be able to follow me and maybe play along as well. I'll do the whole song in a minute, but you know, see if we can do this. So I'll count you in like a 1, 2, 3, 4. Lost you. You fall, I will catch you, I'll be time after time. Cool, and then you've got like a little instrumental break. I'll bring this one back up, don't worry. There's like a little F to a G, and you can hear I'm doing the full version of the finger picking pattern there. E minor, and then to F. And this is just a bit of filler. It's kind of in the beginning of the song, it's in between choruses and verses, and it's the bit where on the record, if I hum it at you, going ba, 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 da, 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 da. So hopefully that's familiar now. But yeah, so full pattern on those, and then you're back into a verse, so then you're back to your plucking. And the reason I would do this, rather than carrying on like that, is because that's quite a lot, actually, and this is going to get lost in all that. So you'd go, after my picture fades, and it kind of sounds a bit weird, right? But if it's like that, it's really abstract, it brings it back and it makes it more about the words, which this song is. So then it's more like, after my picture fades, and you can double things up if you want, and darkness has turned to grey. So that's why, because I feel like if you finger pick the whole thing, it gets muddy and the meaning gets a bit lost. So just to recap, on the verses, we've got a C chord, and we're putting down the note of D, 3rd fret on your B string. You're doing that with your little finger, and you're just plucking thumb on the bass note. In this case, that's the A string. Index and middle plucking together, not this finger. This one is just there for stability, and I'm just going. And I'm doing that on all the strong words. So like on the next line, it would be watching windows, wanting I'm okay. Sound a bit like okay. But you get the idea. On the strong beats, that's where you're putting that one down and taking it off. Cool, so if we put all of that together now and walk my hand back down over the sound hole, we should be able to go through the whole thing more or less. This is the way I cover it at the minute. Now I know that I will probably mess around with sections. It's just my nature, but I thought enough people were curious about how I play this song. I thought it's worth uploading, so here we are. You did it to yourselves. So I'm going to go straight into the words rather than do, you know, an intro. I'm just going straight into lying in my bed. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lying in my bed, I hear the clock tick and think of you, caught up in circles. Confusion is nothing new. Flashback, warm nights, almost left behind. Suitcase of memories, time after sometimes you picture me. I'm walking too far ahead. You're calling to me. I can't hear what you said. Then you say go slow. I fall behind. The second hand unwinds. If you're lost, you can look and you will find me. Time after time. If you fall, I will catch you. I'll be waiting. Time after time. If you're lost, you can look and you will find me. end. So notes on anything I might have done differently or wrong. Let's have a look. So I know at one point on this section when we go flashback, I definitely did at least one of those using that G. That is simply because my hand defaulted to this G. It's totally fine if yours does the same, and you know it's a good thing it happened because now you can see that it's totally fine. It's still a G, so it's fine to hit it. Another thing I do, as you can hear there, I like a staggered pluck, I'm not going to lie. So all I'm doing is plucking them one after the other, but in a kind of quickly staggered fashion. But I do think I'd overkilled it a little bit in places, so so if you choose to do it, maybe try it on the first beat of every bar, maybe, or maybe just every phrase. So it could be flashback, warm nights, like that, you know? You will know how you want to play it, you know? So many you knows. Cool. All right, and the final thing I know I did, right at the end, I was fiddling with the timing, so I should have kept it simple for you, a load of coffees. Coffee, 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 coffee. But I know I went time after time. So that would be a normal coffee, 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 coffee. But I whack it straight back down. Followed by a full bar of our first fingerpicking pattern, holding down the chord of C major. So you got a time after time. Time after time, time after time. So there you go. That's all the weird stuff I did. I hope you've enjoyed this. And hopefully you enjoyed doing it this way as well, and find it less clunky than the old D minor to C. I'm all about subtleties with playing. I just think that way you can accent the words more. I love a good lyric, and I do love this song. So thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you all again soon in the next one.